Stuck in them 20-somethings. Stuck in them 20-somethings. Bitches ain't no ass in the picture. Drop a couple rays, prices ass get bigger.
This episode is brought to you by Skyline Property Solutions.
Hey y'all.
Hi y'all.
Welcome back to Wasted 20s podcast. My name is Titi.
I'm Bria.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Dana.
And we have a special guest today, Mr. Jacob Jordan.
Yay.
Introduce yourself. How old are you and what do you do, Mr. Jacob?
Yeah, my name is Jacob Jordan. I am 24 years old. I actually went to high school with everybody here today. Yep, and I've been doing real estate for about 6 years now, so I'm excited to tell you some tips and tricks of how to get into the game and how to really stay in the game.
Period. We love that.
Shit.
Period.
All right, y'all.
So
Let's
Take a sip.
Oh.
Okay, it's wasted 20s.
It's
on the
Wasted
right.
20s. We don't have any lit today, but we on some
We
real
on
classy
some
shit.
wine.
Which house preference? Which one?
I think I'm going to do Moscato.
I'm on
Yeah.
Moscato today.
Scotty.
Dana?
Can you open it?
Can I? It's a screw.
No, it's the
Open that,
Okay,
Jacob.
I got you.
Strong man.
Y'all stupid.
Thank you.
But Jacob, we got a little game for you, right?
Okay, cool.
So we're going to play a game. It's called Myth or Fact. So, we had to do some research on the industry,
Cool.
because we're not that familiar with it.
Yep.
So, yeah. Oh, you can pour it for me. Thank you. And so we looked up some statements, and
Okay.
some of them are true and some of them are false, okay?
Okay,
And so we're going to read one off, and then you tell us.
I got you.
And if it's wrong, you got to take a sip of wine,
Got you.
okay? Who want to
All
go
right,
first?
So y'all ready? I'll
Hold
start off. All right, Jacob.
Okay.
Myth or fact? Buying is always a better financial deal than renting.
I would say that's a myth. I feel like it really depends on somebody's financial situation. You want to make sure you're ready to buy a home because it's a huge commitment. So there's certain things that you need to make sure that they're in order before you actually purchase a home. So it really just depends. But long term, I feel like real estate's the best way to really build wealth for an individual.
I like it.
Period.
So
Yep.
smart.
You got it
Yes.
right. You got that right.
Good
Right.
job, Jacob.
Perfect. Okay. I don't have to take a drink then.
You
Okay.
safe.
Myth or fact? Buying a condo is just like buying a house.
I would say that's a myth too. I mean, the paperwork in and of itself is the same, but there's differences between a condo and a single family home. A lot of times with condos, one, it can be more difficult to get financing because a lot of times condos have higher HOA amount, so you have to take that in consideration with your debt to income ratio. So say if you have been approved for $300,000 and the condo's $300,000, but the HOA is $300 a month, that lender may not approve you for that home. So there's differences, but I would say, I mean, you're owning something, so
Right.
that's the same. So
Okay.
hopefully that's
Good.
You got it
Good
right.
job.
Yes.
Don't
You know your
fucking
stuff.
play with
Right.
Jacob.
He know his stuff.
He is a vet in this shit. Don't play with him.
Okay, so I got one. Most offers will not be accepted without a pre-approval letter.
I would say that's a fact. I recommend.
Don't play with that pen.
Like, that's right. Like, okay.
Don't play with him.
Do this shit for real.
Like,
Yeah.
for real.
I mean, a lot of times, listing agents require a pre-approval to be submitted with the offer to take that offer seriously. So that's why I say that's a fact. But I mean, a pre-approval is also essential because it also gives you what your budget could be. So say we're looking at $400,000 homes, and then once you get pre-approved, you're only pre-approved for $300,000. So we really just wasted
Yeah, that's wasting
a lot of time.
Right.
So that's why I recommend any clients that's working with me to get pre-approved before we start looking for homes.
Okay, cool.
Period.
All right, this is the last one.
Okay. Well, I ain't drinking nothing yet, so.
Yeah, because you really
you
like
do
you do
this.
shit for real.
You
Like
do
you do
this
this
shit
shit.
for real. All right, you should never offer full price. Myth or fact?
I mean, I wouldn't say never. I feel like it would depend on the value of the home. I wouldn't say that. Sometimes it's the listing agent prices the home right, so the full price is what that they would accept. So I mean, it really would depend on the property, but I mean, there's always room for negotiations, even if say we offered on a property and we got into the inspection period and something came up, or the property didn't appraise right. There's multiple opportunities within the home buying experience where you can renegotiate that contract to get a better deal.
So you think that's
so
a-
what's
Right,
Right.
the
So
fact.
I would say that's a myth.
Hot damn.
like stop playing with him.
Okay, then cool.
Dang, Jacob.
Don't
you
play with
aced
Jacob.
that.
There we
Not
go. I'm
one
gonna take
of
a
them-
drink.
Yeah, take a drink.
Just for the game.
He's not one of them play real estate agents. He really does this.
He really does this. So if you're looking for an agent out there, hit up Jacob.
Hit up
like,
Jacob.
what?
We'll have his information down below.
For real. So speaking on that, Jacob, tell us more about you and like what caused you to become a real estate agent.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, I've been in the game going on 6 years now. I actually got licensed in real estate right when I graduated high school. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated, but I always liked watching HGTV and
Hell
seeing
yeah.
like home flipping shows. And I was like, well, maybe I could do that. So I just went on a whim and went to real estate school. And I did that all through college. I worked multiple, I worked as a real estate agent, and then I transitioned into a showing agent. So I worked for this firm just doing open houses and showing properties. And now I'm working as just a full-time agent. So, and I'm an investor. So I invest in properties. So I love real estate. So I'm happy to.
What did you graduate? What was your major when you?
Yeah, so I majored in finance, and then
Okay.
I concentrated in risk management and insurance. And I went to UNC Charlotte, so stay local.
Okay, that's
Okay
nice.
then.
Did you pass your exam on the first try?
Yeah, like tell us that process.
Safe space, baby.
Good question. So I'm glad you brought that up. The exam's the hardest part. I mean, you have to really pay attention, study, and really dedicate your time to preparing for that exam. So I failed my class exams.
Me too.
I failed my class exam twice, actually. So I actually had to retake the whole real estate licensing
Damn.
course
Yeah.
again. But I knew that's something that I wanted to do for myself, so I did
Right.
it. So I passed the class test after that, and then I passed the state and national tests for the first time. So
I wouldn't do that shit in the bed.
yeah.
Maybe it's something else I need to
Yeah,
learn.
I was like, let me get my head in the game.
Yeah, I love that. So you said when you graduated high school, you didn't really know what you want to do. You just kind of went on a whim.
Yeah.
So this isn't where you saw yourself like in high school. You
No, I actually
did you
when
have a plan at all?
I didn't. I mean, I just went with the flow and,
Right.
and tried out different things. I think that's important in your 20s to try out different
Period.
things and see what makes you happy. So actually, when I started college, I was planning on majoring in nursing. I was like, oh, I want I thought I wanted to be a nurse, but then I got into all those science classes and I just was like,
Weeds them out.
well, maybe that's not for
okay,
me.
it's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm more of a numbers guy. I understand money. I understand finance. So I was like, maybe that's where I would fit in. And I think that was a right move for me.
That's cool.
Cool.
What's your sign, by the way?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh yeah, we went over that.
Capricorn,
Okay,
me and
okay.
Bria.
Wow.
Shout out to all the Capricorns.
It's about to be our season or whatever, so I guess
Yup.
I'll let y'all have it.
Yup, let us
Let
have
us
it.
So back to real estate.
Yep.
What are some things you wish you knew before coming into the industry?
I would say I feel like I underestimated how hard it would be to build like a client base. That's the hardest part about being in real estate is really finding clients, because one thing about real estate, if you don't sell nothing, you don't make nothing. So you definitely have to have those clients and continue to work on building those clients and building those relationships in order to be successful.
Cool.
Have you only worked for one firm?
No, I've actually worked for 3. So once I finished my real estate licensing course, I worked for this firm that did like a lunch and learn during my class, and that was a good experience. I learned a lot, but I realized that wasn't for me, and I really wasn't ready to be a full-time broker because I was still in college. So then that's when I transitioned into being a showing agent for another firm, and I really developed a lot of knowledge, and I was able to kind of practice a lot to really make myself presentable to my clients, because a lot of times when you're in real estate, you're working with people that are older than you and more experienced than you, so you really have to make sure you're prepared and they take you seriously. So I learned a lot through the way, so now I'm on my third firm right now. So
What's the difference between a broker and an agent?
There's really no difference between just the terminology. So when you pass your real estate license exam, you are a provisional broker. So that just means you have to have your license hung with the firm, and you have to take post-license courses. So you have to take 3 post-licensing courses in order to be, I guess, a non-provisional broker.
Okay.
That's cool. You're so like educated.
Yeah,
like,
it's
so
well
smart.
spoken.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's giving that like
Like he really know
I
what
want
he's
to say
talking
some
about.
ghetto
Like,
shit, but I'm not even gonna say it.
Like, what?
Like he is
I don't care. You have to still have fun in your 20s. I mean, I have fun too, but I mean, you had when it's time for business,
It's
you
very
gotta
much
buckle down.
Yeah, I fuck with it. Make me feel like let me go read a book.
Yep,
You
you
know?
mind
Let me go get on my shit real quick.
Right. Read a book.
Let me go buy a house.
Yo, you know.
Know who to call.
Yep.
Right, you know who to hit up. What course you said? Like, hold on.
Wow.
Okay, so do you do any like separate projects like Airbnb or like flipping houses or anything?
I do. I haven't done much of flipping, but I do own an Airbnb, and I'm working on my second Airbnb right now. So
Okay.
eventually I want to really just be an investor in real estate. I figured out that's really what I'm interested in is investing properties and seeing properties really transform to nothing to something. So that's what I did for my first Airbnb. I bought this house. It was basically like a rundown house, and I flipped it in essence, but I didn't sell it. I continued to use that as an Airbnb, and so far it's been successful, so I'm thankful.
That's
That's
good.
great. I like that.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You rolling with him. I love it today.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm just
I
curious.
love it. I love
just
it.
want to know about this Airbnb process. Like,
Go ahead. Do it.
Can you just tell us about
Yeah.
how you got into it?
Yeah, definitely. And I really just stumbled into Airbnb. So I knew I wanted to be an investor in real estate. So I found this property that needed work, and I was getting it under market value. And I knew if I put a certain amount of money into it, it would be worth a certain amount. So after that, I was like, after I renovated the property and got it appraised and got it financed, I was like, what can I do with this property? And I could rent it out long term, but the amount of money that I make each month would be less. I mean, it would require less time from me, but I would make less money. So I was like, well, let me just try Airbnb. And it was kind of like trial and error. I learned as I go, but so far it's been successful. The hardest part I would say about owning an Airbnb is really finding a good staff to clean the property, because I'm not available. I work a full-time job. I do real estate. I've had to do it multiple times, but I mean, that's difficult to find somebody to clean your property, because you have a certain time period before the next guest checks in to really get the property.
Okay. All right. What you want?
I just love it, Bria. Like, Bria's usually like the quiet one, and she's really invested, so I just love that.
You need to get your real estate license then.
Period.
but
You know, my sister's a real estate agent.
Okay.
Shout out to you, girl.
Yeah, she should have been up here
She
with
be
me.
telling me something.
So I want to know, what's some things you wish you knew before, like, starting in this industry that you think, like, could have helped you? You said it's a lot of trial and error and learning as you go.
Are you talking about Airbnb or real estate?
Whichever one.
With real estate, like I was saying, it's just so hard to build like a client base. It's just building your client and passing your real estate license test. I really underestimated that, and that in turn made me waste a lot of time because I had to take the class again. So I wish I took it more seriously the first go around. And then with Airbnb, I would just say work on automating my Airbnb sooner. So just I use this platform called Turnover BNB, and that helps me find my cleaners. But I didn't the first couple of months, so it was kind of difficult just finding these cleaners here and there that would be able to clean my property.
Right.
So just getting your systems automated, so it requires less time from you and less running from you once you get started with Airbnb.
Okay, cool.
So can you like say someone wants to buy a house right now?
Yep.
Can you break down the process of like how do we do that?
Yeah, definitely. First, make sure you have a job. Make sure you have stable income, because that's
Start
important.
with
Yeah,
Be
number
employed,
one.
bitch.
Step one.
Well, that's important.
No
That
fake
tax.
stubs, baby.
Right. We ain't got time.
That's very important, because when you go, I would say the next step is getting pre-approved. So when you go to get pre-approved, they look at your debt to income ratio. So they want to make sure that your monthly debts will allow you to afford the monthly payment for the home. So once you get pre-approved, we start looking for the property. Then the property that we look for just depends on the client. Each person has different values and different must-haves when it comes to looking for a property. So finding a property, once we get a property under contract, we enter into the due diligence period. During that period, that is when we inspect the home and have the appraisal. So some things can go wrong. The inspection can come back bad. The appraisal can come back bad, and that's when we can renegotiate with the listing agent and the seller to figure out what we can do here. Sometimes they will negotiate, sometimes they won't, and that's when you'll determine if you want to continue on with the property. And if you do, that's when we work with your lender to get the clear to close. And once we have the clear to close, we can close on the property. Yep.
How long is that process usually?
Typically about 30 to 40 days.
Oh, damn. Okay.
It just depends on the lender. A lot of times getting clear to close for the loans, the longest part of the process, and inspections. And if something comes wrong with inspection, if you want to get that fixed, if they agree to get that fixed, that can take some time as well. So 30 to 45 days, I would say, is average.
It's not bad.
Yep, not too bad.
So how do you feel about the current market right now?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me that question. I'm a firm believer of real estate long term. So personally, I'm still purchasing properties, and I would advise other people to do the same. I think a lot of in today's market, what scares people is the interest rates. So interest rates have continued to rise, and that's really affected people's pre-approval, because when interest rates are higher, they don't get approved for as much. So the type of home you may have been looking at a year ago may not be the type of home that you're looking at today. But you just have to really think of real estate long term. Back in the day, interest rates were like 2-3%. So that's why the market was so competitive, because you were really getting money for nothing. I mean, 2-3% isn't a lot of money when you think of a 30-year your loan, and that wasn't the normal. So I think the interest rates we're in now has been closer to the historical average of what interest rates have been in the past. So I would still advise people to continue to purchase property, and hopefully I got something planned for 2023 for myself. So we'll see.
Okay, so I want to know, in what ways do you market your business? Do you do like Instagram, or do you have like a website, or do you have a target market?
Yeah, I work with anybody, and the good thing with me, I have experience in both residential and commercial. I've actually closed a couple commercial properties within the last couple of years, and I'm thankful for that, and it allowed me to learn a lot. But as far as marketing goes, I really market myself on Instagram and market myself to friends and family, and thankfully a lot of my friends and family have been working with me, and I feel like that's been a large part of my client base, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm continuing to look to expand, so hopefully I continue to grow my business. And like I said, if anybody is looking for a home, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you.
On it.
Promote your shit.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the Airbnb. So
You love it there.
yeah, I just want to know, like, how long did it take for you to see the profit on it?
Yeah, it really just depends. For me, it was a little bit longer because I had to renovate my property. So I spent about $20,000 renovating my property. But I look at Airbnb also like as an investment. Like I'm investing in real
Right.
estate. So I own my properties that I Airbnb. But some people do rental arbitrage and
Is
I
that
feel
illegal?
well, I mean, I wouldn't say
Not
What is that?
When you rent a property, but you rent
Rent
it
it
out to
out.
niggas
Yeah.
on Airbnb.
I mean, it's not illegal. The landlord just has to agree to that, and they can kick you out. I mean, and that's why I don't like that. I won't want somebody to disrupt my business like that. So I try to stay away from that. But I know a lot of people that make a lot of money from that. So.
I try to stay away from that.
It's like he said that's so slick. Like,
I know. I try to stay away from that. But it's very much illegal. If you are wondering.
It's not illegal, but
So what about like apartments? Like
no, you can do apartment. I mean, like I said, the landlord just has to agree. I mean, what's illegal about it is when the landlord doesn't agree and you're doing it
Right,
behind
you're
their
just
back.
doing it.
And some people do that. But I mean,
that ain't none of your business.
well. I mean,
They
I
so shady.
no, never mind.
You are goofy, bro. So, would you recommend someone buying a home in their 20s?
I think it just depends on the individual's personal situation, like where you're at within your profession, what you have planned for yourself. I like I said, real estate's has a proven track record of developing wealth for an individual. So I think that it's a good thing for people to do, but you want to make sure you're ready and that you can afford it, because you don't want to end up not being able to afford the home and end up getting foreclosed on, and that
Right.
really affects your life for a long period of time, because you get foreclosed on, it messes up your credit, you're not able to do a lot of different things. So it really just depends.
So, are you a homeowner?
I am. I own 2 properties now, so
Okay. So properties.
working on a third, but that's in 2023. Hopefully, I can make it happen. But yeah, like I said, I'm still purchasing properties, and I mean, I purchase properties that need work done to it. I buy it under market value, and I add value to the property, and I end up refinancing it.
Selling it?
Well, I refinancing it into my personal. So for the first property that I bought it within my LLC, and I put money into the property, and then I worked to get it refinanced back into my personal name. So I say, for instance, I bought the home for, these are fake numbers, so I bought the home for
Not these are fake numbers.
these are fake numbers, but I bought the home for 200.
Right, Jacob is funny as fuck.
Okay, what's the fake numbers?
Give us the real numbers.
Give us the real numbers.
Once again, these are fake numbers.
Okay, just give a range.
Well, I bought the home for $200,000. I put $20,000 in, and it appraised for $300,000.
Okay, that's all you need to say.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fake, but
Yeah.
That-
That is fake.
but that's hard to do. It's hard to find a property like that, especially on the MLS. But I'm thankful that I'm an agent and I look at the market all day. That's what I do in my free time. I find I get a lot of value out of looking at properties all day.
So when you
it's
say-
fun for me.
When you say you look at it, what do you do?
I mean, I like everybody. I look on Zillow. I have access to the MLS, which allows me to look at more properties and look at the tax records to see at like what the current owner has on the property and kind of how much they would potentially be willing to, negotiate on the property. Yeah, and I mean, in person, I all my properties are within the Charlotte area, so whenever I find a property that I'm interested in, I go and check it out and see if it would be something that I can manage. I mean,
Right.
at first I was scared. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't have any contractors that I worked with. I really went out on a limb and did it.
How are you finding contractors?
I mean, that's what I didn't know how to do it at first, but for me, I use this app called Thumbtack, and Thumbtack
I be
is,
seeing their commercials.
Yeah, I do.
and they just all about the home. So if you need anything done to your home, they have independent contractors that sign up for the app and they really bid for the project. So I did that for my first property, and I found a guy that me and him work well together, and he gave me a good deal because he was renovating the whole property. So and I have just been working with him since. So I'm thankful for that. But I really went out on, like I said, went out on a limb and really took a risk and did it, and thankfully it paid off.
Okay.
Cool.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
Me
We are fighting today.
Girl.
So you said that basically, if your money funny,
Well,
you heard that. If your money funny, your crib could get foreclosed, right? Do people buy those foreclosed homes? Okay, so what are the pros and cons of that?
I mean, a foreclosure is definitely, I mean, a lot of times it's a good deal. I wouldn't say all the time, but a lot of times it's a good deal because you're getting the property for a good deal because you're going through a long process. I feel like that's the con of foreclosures because it's a long process to close on the property. You have to work with the bank, and typically the bank works slower than what a listing agent would work at on the property. So you just have to be willing to wait on the property.
But it's gonna be a good deal on it.
I mean, a lot of times it is, but a lot of times it needs a lot of work because sometimes when you buy a foreclosure property, whenever somebody's foreclosed on their home, they may wreck the whole home because they know that they're upset. I mean, they're upset. They lost their home, so I mean, they may put holes in the walls, take the appliances. I mean, they may do those things to the property. And you're buying the property as is. The bank's not going to do any work to the property.
Oh, dang.
Okay,
So
so
they
it might be a
take all
shit
that
show. But
It could be.
It's gonna be.
It could be.
But you,
it could
like
be a
you
good
said,
deal.
you take it and fix her upper.
Yeah, I mean, I do that, and I'm willing to do that, but a lot of people may not be in the position to do that. I mean, it's expensive to really renovate homes, and that's another thing about getting into real estate. It's expensive. I mean, you really have to stay down and save your money and be ready for it. Yeah.
Okay, I got another question.
Okay.
What's the lowest credit score a potential customer can have? Well, I should say buyer.
I mean, it would depend. I feel like each bank is different, and I'm not a mortgage lender, so I can't really advise you on that, and I don't work for anybody like that. But I mean, if you don't get approved one place, check out a few places
Jacob
and see if you get approved.
Like claim like he do not do that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not a lender, but I can recommend a few lenders.
But he don't work with nobody.
Right.
Like that.
Don't do that.
No, you can't tell me that.
Yo, y'all are funny for real.
Yeah, and one
love that,
I
though.
guess misconception that I had when I was buying a property is I thought that I had to have 2 years of work experience before I can actually purchase a property because typically banks require 2 years of tax returns. But if you graduated from college recently and you have a salary job, your college experience could count for those 2 years of work experience.
Damn.
So you can really get a property right out of college, and a lot of people don't know that, or at least I didn't when I first started.
Pro tip.
There you go.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. Well, I don't know about.
To Jacob.
He gonna clear it every time.
Well,
All right, every time.
Oh,
Period.
okay. I'm sorry, I got another question.
There we go.
I
Bria.
love this for Bria. Like, everybody in the comments,
Okay.
if you're watching, say, go,
Okay.
Bria, go.
Go, Bria.
Go, Bria. Like, she don't be
Fuck.
talking. I know what she do.
I'm the
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yo,
What's
y'all are
up?
funny.
Okay, so like when you at a firm, like how do you get leads? Like, do they pass them out to you, or like how does that work?
Yeah, and like I said, it really depends on the firm. I mean, each firm is different. For me, I really got lucky with my first home my first firm that I mentioned because my first 2 sales that I had were really handed down to me. An individual passed away, and he had
Dang.
40 properties,
Damn.
and he left them to his mother. And he was friends with the mother was friends with my broker in charge. So my broker in charge dispersed those 40 properties against everybody in the firm. So that's how I got my first 2 sales. But each firm is different, and different firms have different lead generation services. Personally, what we've been using is Facebook ads. We have an ad in place if you're interested in the property under 150,000, under 300,000, and under 500,000. If you're interested in those properties, fill out this form, and then I get in touch with those individuals to really just share my information and let them know that I'm there for them if they need anything. But I mean, leads are hit and miss. I mean, sometimes people just fill it out just because they're interested. So not every lead turns into a sale, but you never know. So you always want to follow up.
Okay. That's nice.
Cool.
Yep.
You be doing all your closings and stuff, or you got like an assistant to help you, you know?
I mean, I go to my closings. I'm not a real estate attorney, and that's who really handles the.
I don't do that.
But the real estate closing attorney is who handles a lot of the things in the closing. So they do the title work to make sure that person actually owns the property, and they coordinate with the lender to get the funds for the property. So they're the ones that really handle that. And I work with a couple different real estate attorneys because, I mean, each one really specializes in something. So I have one that's really good at commercial deals, and I have one that I personally like for my personal deals. And then sometimes the listing agent or the seller would have a attorney that they recommend. So I'm flexible as an agent. I'm flexible if they want to work with somebody. Okay, we can work with them.
Okay. Don't mind. Well, don't make him know. Never mind.
Yeah.
Didn't you like do classes for real estate agents?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, didn't you do classes?
Well, actually, so I did a first-time home buyer webinar back in the day, just for first-time home buyers. Just kind of doing what I'm doing today is letting them know a little bit more about real estate. And I'm actually a certified real estate instructor. So I have the potential to teach real estate classes. I haven't done that much, but I am licensed. So
I'll be your first student.
Right.
Right.
I'm in
That's
there.
cool.
You should do it for real.
What instruct?
And let us know.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking all this information in.
Right.
Take it in.
Soaking it in.
So,
And like I
yeah.
said, I'm here if anybody has any questions. I know real estate is a big financial commitment. It's a lot of people's biggest financial commitment that they make in their life. So you want to make sure you're doing it right.
And Jacob gonna make sure you get it right. So make sure
The
you
first time.
Yeah, I mean, you only got.
Funny.
I'm hot, bro. I'm hot.
All right. I feel like we playing. Let's play.
Okay, let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
We play all day.
All right. So y'all want to do prank calls?
Oh, that's what we doing.
I don't think he's for that.
Who we calling?
Jacob doesn't do
Jacob did not do that. Full disclaimer.
So who should we call?
I say, let's call.
Yeah, that's hot.
Let me get some more wild.
Yeah.
Wasted 20s.
Wasted 20s, baby.
Wasted on wasted 20s.
Just a little quick one. Y'all want to call a random Texas house listing?
And act like we trying to buy the house.
Yeah. And see what they talking about?
Who's gonna talk?
I see what they talking about.
Yeah, who gonna do it?
Jacob gonna know who they talking about.
What do you say? I'm like,
I think
so,
Kara should do it. What
Yeah.
should I say? Hey, I would like to purchase this home. Are there any home listings?
What makes
Are there
it?
any openings to come look at the house today?
Let's
What
just
makes
play.
it a prank though? Let's
Be
play
like,
with
I got cash.
Yeah, like
All
right
cash
now.
offer. I'm coming tomorrow
Like,
to
I'm
come look
ready.
at the house.
Can I come right now and look at
I'm
it?
like, yeah.
They're gonna be pissed off.
Don't have
I
these
was a
people in the
fucking-
car on the way.
We calling it Texas.
They in Texas. They in Texas.
I'm crying.
Woo.
All right, yeah, Kara, go ahead.
Not woo.
This is a hoop.
I'll just mash it.
I used to love prank
Y'all
calls.
got me sweating in here now.
Oh, that was
I
567.
need to prop that dough.
That's
Why?
what I'm saying.
Okay, let's call.
Alright, y'all. Y'all, we childish as fuck.
I'm nervous.
How'd you find
Alright,
this?
me.
Who are you calling? What's the background? I wish Sunday.
Niggas don't work on Sundays no more.
Some people do.
Do you work on Sundays?
If somebody wants to see a property, we can make it happen.
Send us a message.
Oh,
I'll do the next one then. Are you
Oh,
gonna
wait.
start 67 or you just calling them?
just calling them.
What they gonna do?
Call back.
Yeah, call back.
Call back tomorrow.
Lot.
Great day, Kelly Williams. This is Holly.
Hey, Holly, I was calling because I was looking at a couple homes and I saw. Do you guys have any openings tomorrow?
Are you looking for rentals or are you buying?
It's a house on 2150.
2150. You spell the name of the street?
B.
Okay, let me look it up real quick.
Bro. Is anything available today? Like right now?
No.
What time is it over there?
Like 4 o'clock, I think. Or maybe
Yeah, they
like,
an hour behind.
What's my name?
Yvette.
Yvette Jones.
be like, I got cash.
I just want to let you know I have all cash offer. And I'm like,
This bitch do the phone. What the fuck?
She didn't even ask for all that. She didn't even ask.
She didn't even call back. House.
she's going to
She couldn't even
back.
find that shit.
I'm glad that's not my phone.
She's blocking you.
Block.
Wait, that was a block.
Immediate
All
block.
right, do one more. Do one more.
I don't want to talk no more. My heart racing. I'm nervous.
I'm weak, but we gotta like.
She was so sweet though. That's
Right. No.
Thanks,
Great
Holly.
day.
At Keller Williams.
Now let me tell you, don't call me like.
I'm
You
weak
don't know
as
what
fuck.
it is.
I don't think we should do another one.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Why? We gotta make it like funny.
Because that's
for real.
Dana's phone. That's what she don't want to do.
We gotta make that shit funny for real. Like really be like on that shit.
You do it then.
I would, but I get stage fright.
So do I. That's why I was stuttering.
I'm a pretty funny bitch, but I get stage fright.
Just let me know if y'all on. It's all cash deal. Y'all was looking at rentals.
not a random. Y'all not even looking for body. I'm crying, bro. I'm crying. I'm weak. I'm fucking crying.
Y'all funny as shit. On that note, everybody gotta take a drink.
Woo.
Sippy sip
I'm not done.
That shit is funny, bro.
You was crying?
Thank you so much for coming, Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob,
Thanks,
have
Jacob.
fun.
This was funny as fuck.
That's
good.
Okay, the real.
Oh, the rest.
It ain't much.
You gotta tip the bottle, Jacob. Let them know we on that type time.
Oh, yeah.
With wine.
Turn it over.
Yeah.
What's your goofy as fuck?
That's the type of time we on way to 20. Yo.
It's wasted.
Looking for a fun, dope real estate agent? Hit up Jacob.
Hit up Mr. Jacob Jordan.
Shout
Yes,
your
hit
stuff
me up.
out.
Yes.
How can they contact you?
Yes,
Right.
reach
You got
out to
business
me
card?
on Instagram. You can start there. My Instagram is
Bitch, stop laughing. Damn.
Jacob__J. I'm happy to help you there, or you can email me at Jacob@SkylinePropertySolutions.net. That is my firm, Skyline Property Solutions. You can also check out them on Instagram, Skyline Property Solutions, and I'd be happy to help you. I do have fun. This is Wasted 20s. We have fun. We drink. We have fun. But I am serious about real estate. I'm very knowledgeable, and I'm excited to help you out.
He's about his money, baby.
No,
Eh.
for real.
Heavy.
And don't come playing.
Yeah, don't
We don't
hit
do
him
no
up
broke
with
shit
Now,
bullshit
don't
over
call me like that now.
Just hang up if they do that.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so
Okay.
much for tuning in. Make sure y'all follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Wasted 20s Pod. And if you need any sponsorships in the future,
Hit us up.
Reach out to Wasted 20.
Wasted20pod at
Thank y'all for
gmail.com.
tuning
And thank you guys for
in.
watching.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
He want to be